Hi, guys. It's me, Sherelle, and this is Healing Conversations, and I'm back with another episode for you guys. And I really wanted to talk about this on here because I talked about this on my YouTube channel. If you don't know my YouTube channel, guys, please look out for it. I believe it's in my description on here, but I am not sure. So if not, just look up Healing Conversations and you should be able to find me. And I have a great channel, you guys. So please subscribe and like if you like. And that's where you can see a lot of my content as well. But getting into this topic, today I want to talk about how social media almost destroyed my life and why I chose to leave social media. So, if you guys don't know, last year I went through a public breakup. I'm not a influencer. I'm nobody famous on social media. I call it public because all my family and friends who follow me on social media knew. People who wouldn't normally know who I'm dating because I'm usually more private, they knew. And so I remember I posted my relationship on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. It was everywhere. And I remember I talked about it quite often. And when the breakup and the relationship ended, I'm still trying to carry this image as if me and him are still together. I don't even want people to know. And I just remember that relationship destroyed me. And so it was sitting in that relationship, but also just realizing like, hey, I definitely don't want to be on social media. I think it was a mixture of the relationship, how public it was, when family and friends are chiming in and asking questions, and you have an engagement that went public for your family and friends and people to see, and it was too much for me. And so eventually I said I'm leaving social media. I also chose to leave because social media to me was just very negative. I felt like, to me, being on social media, I was advertising a relationship that wasn't really what it was supposed to be. I'm posting these happy pictures of me and my ex like we're so happy, but the reality is we're not happy. It's behind closed doors. We're arguing. We're not in this space that we should be in, but we're not telling the world that because we have to post these happy pictures like we're just in this great space when we're not. And so I remember like being tired of living that way, because I think a lot of times on social media we see the happy couples on YouTube or on Instagram. We see pictures and we get excited. Oh, those are couple goals. These are such happy people, and we don't even know what goes on behind closed doors. Like even for my relationship, people only saw the videos and pictures. They didn't see the behind the scenes when the doors were closed. And so I feel like, and a lot of times it leads you to idolize those couples because you think that they have this perfect relationship, and the reality is they don't, because no couple's perfect. It just may look like that to the eye. And so, and that's another thing I want to say. That's why I don't like the word couples goals. That word is just like a no for me. But I just was sick of social media. It had gotten to a point where I was tired of social media. And then I kept seeing nothing but negativity. I was on TikTok and it was nothing but negativity. I was on Instagram, negativity in the comments, all these blog sites. You got TikTok and it's negativity, Instagram and it's Facebook. Everybody's putting all their business, and I was just tired. I couldn't take it anymore. And yes, there were some times where I could block out. There were times where I could block, I could block the pages. I could say I'm gonna block this person's page or block this content, and then there would still be some negative content showing up again on my timeline. So it got to a point where I was like, I need a break. So I logged out of Instagram, I logged out of Facebook, I logged out of TikTok, I logged out of Snapchat. I was just like, I'm done. The only social media apps I'm still using is YouTube and Twitter. And YouTube is just because YouTube is such a peaceful app for me. It's very calm and mellowed out. The people aren't negative, at least in my opinion. And so I stayed there for those reasons. I think Twitter. I'm about to say TikTok. I meant Twitter. Twitter, I stayed on there just because I like to scroll through my feed, because I follow a lot of pastors on Twitter and I love to see their content. But let me just say this. A lot of people say to me, well, Sherelle, you can choose to delete the stuff or whatever, or you can choose to block the content. True, you can. You can control your feed to a certain extent, but there's always going to be that negative thing that will pop up, honestly, even when you try to avoid the negativity. But I want to tell y'all something. So when I was on TikTok was such a space for me where I was so wanting likes and views and followers that I was willing to do anything. So I'm making all these reaction videos talking about celebrities and social media influencers and content creators. And I'm just like, why am I making these videos about these people? For one, I don't even know them. For two, they don't even know me. And I'm just like, I'm making all this content talking about these people, and I can't figure out what I'm getting out of it. And so I just remember being on TikTok was like this thing for me where I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm making all these reaction videos about people I don't even know. And I remember talking about big celebrities. I'm talking about big influencers. And I'm loving the attention because I'm getting all these comments and likes and all these things. But it was like, when I really thought about it, I'm like, I'm doing this content because other people are doing the same content. So I'm following the lead of those people, knowing that that's not really what I really want to be doing at all. But yet I'm still somehow doing it anyway. And so I think that was the sad part about it, you guys. Like, and then I'm getting people in my comments who are being mean to me. Some people are saying, why are you so mad? Why are you so this? I'm like, I'm not even mad. I'm just doing these videos because I see other people doing it and they're getting views, they're getting likes. But it comes to a point where you're just like, I had to say, Sherelle, you don't even know these people. You don't know their life. You don't know nothing about them. 2, you're not paying their bills. 2, 3, they have to answer to God at the end of the day, not you. You are not the judge. You can't judge these people. You're not God. And so it took me a while to get to a place where I said, you know what, I'm done with TikTok. I don't want to do it anymore. And I said, and I felt like at this point, I didn't even want to change my content on the page. I tried for a little bit, but then I was like, I just want to be done with the page altogether. And if I do go back to TikTok, I'm not using that page anymore because I felt like that page was not who I was as a person. No one knew the real Sherelle behind that page. I just felt like it was a lot of negativity drawn to that page. And it's like, I don't want to be on the negative side of that page. You know, I don't like it. I don't like the negativity that comes with social media. And then you got people doxing people on TikTok. You got people crying. People are sad. People are just angry and bitter. And it's just like, that's not what I want to be on the side of. Because I feel like, is it worth it? You're doing a lot of these content creators get on there and do all that stuff for money. But it's like, are you willing to sell your soul to the devil for money? Like, it's like, I didn't want that. And so for me, it was like, it's not worth it for me. And I'm not knocking any creators who choose to do reaction videos. You know, kudos to them. I respect it. But I can't do it because to me, it doesn't feel right. Because it's not my place to talk about these people. I don't know them. And personally, I don't really care too much about celebrities and social media influencers. I don't even have a favorite celebrity, y'all. Believe it or not, I don't. I just feel like they're regular people in my head. I don't get fanned out or anything like that. And so to me, it just feels like it's best not to talk about things that you really don't want to talk about. Why talk about people or things you don't know and then think topics you really don't even care about? You know, at the end of the day, these people are just regular everyday people underneath the celebrity title. And so I feel like that wasn't my place to speak on that. And then I want to say, let's move on, y'all. Instagram. Let me tell you about Instagram. Instagram was a great place to a certain extent for me. But if you get to those blog posts that get posted daily about all these celebrities and their drama and whatever else, you should see the comments on there. They are so negative and nasty. You have people who are downing each other, talking bad about each other, talking about people's looks, and it's just nasty. People are just nasty. And it's like, is this really who you are in the comments, or are you just faking it for social media because you want to get a bunch of likes on your comment? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't stand the negativity because some of the comments don't even make sense to me. It's like, did y'all just pull up y'all app today and say, I'm going to just be a negative Nancy today or a negative person for no reason? Like, I just said negative Nancy. What in the world? But I'm like, I couldn't do it. And then I found myself, like I was telling somebody earlier, I was literally posting 2 to 3, 4 times a day on Instagram at one point. And there would be times where I would literally get up. People don't know this, but it'd be days where I was not going to leave my house. But I would get out of my bed, throw on some clothes, hurry up and take a quick shower, put my makeup on, and I'm just posing for a picture. And as soon as the picture's done, the pictures are taken and they're uploaded, I'm getting my likes and my clicks and my views, I take the outfit off and I get back in bed, or I put my PJs back on. So at this point, it becomes a habit because now I'm just taking pictures just to get validation at this point. And it's like, what am I doing? Because why do I need validation from anyone online? My validation comes from me and God. But at the time, I couldn't see that. So I'm posting everything, posting pictures of just poses and all kinds of stuff. And it was just like, why am I doing it? And then you feel like you have to do it because you're like, oh man, I ain't posted in about a couple weeks. Let me post something cute. Let me post like this because you want to get the comments and all that stuff. And then you get to a point where it's like, what is the reason behind why I'm doing what I'm doing? It is no reason to be on this app doing these things. I'm not getting anything out of it. So it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I got to stop. I got to ease up on this. This is not for me. This is not what I want to do. It's not making me happy. It's not fulfilling me. And so I just said, I'm done with Instagram. I was done with Instagram because I was tired of having to post pictures all the time just for validation. I was tired of seeing the negativity on a lot of the comments on these people's pictures or on these blog sites. It was like, it was too much. It's too much. And I'm not the type of person, I will never argue with anybody in the comment section. I will just block you and delete your comment. That's what I'll do. I'm not responding to you. I'm not engaging with you because I just don't have the energy. When I see people, it mind boggles me when I see people go back and forth on social media, going back and forth arguing with somebody because they don't like what the person said, or the person said something they didn't like, and then turn into this full-blown argument between them and that person. It's just like, I'm not doing that. This happened I think when I had broke up with my ex, I made a video about the breakup. And some guy was like, you shouldn't be posting about this. But I was like, at the time, I was just letting people know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have been talking about it, but I have a healing channel. So it was all about me trying to heal myself. And so what I did was I didn't respond to the guy. I just blocked him and I deleted him. I said, I'm not going to respond to you. If you have an issue with what I post, that's fine. But I'm not going to go in a back and forth with you. I feel like a lot of people tend to do that on social media. You're going back and forth in comments with people. And it's just like, what's the point? Just block and delete. Because for me, when you have a healing page, you have to talk about your healing journey. So to me, when I was talking about the stuff I was talking about, and I still talk about the same stuff on my YouTube, I don't do it just for me. I do it for other people who are going through the same things as me. I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of nothing I did or what I've been through. So if my story can help somebody else, that's what it was about at the time. But yeah, so it was times on TikTok where I had to literally take my comments and close them off completely because it's like, you just don't want to read the comments. And then it makes you wonder why a lot of celebrities always have limited comments, because the negativity gets to your head. Then they have to make these public posts saying they're taking a break from social media because it gets so heavy. And so I think that's why I said sometimes a social media break is needed. You need to step away. You need to walk away. And so Snapchat is not that bad of a social media app. I'm not going to lie. Nothing too negative on there. But it was just like, I just need to take a break from that too. And Facebook, y'all, that's the biggest one. Now, I have a lot of family and friends that follow me on Facebook. But Facebook was so negative. I'm talking, people put all their business on there. People do the most just insane. They talk about everybody. It's just insane. It's like being back in high school on Facebook. Facebook should be like Facebook high school, because that's what it feels like. And I told a story on my YouTube earlier in the video that I made about this, why I quit social media. And I remember it was a girl I followed. And again, like I say, no shade to her, like I said on YouTube. But I remember she made a post talking about she didn't have no friends and she felt lonely and all this stuff. And then everybody flocked to her comment section saying, girl, call me. Here's my number. Let's hang out. And she immediately was like, oh no, that's okay. Y'all don't have to text or call me. You don't have to flood my comments. And I'm just like, but you just made a whole post saying you had no friends. You want people to hang with you. And as soon as they start asking to hang out with you and giving you their number to call them, now you want to pull away. So it was like, what was she exactly looking for? Was she trying to garner attention? And then when she got it was too much. Like, those are things that I don't understand. Sometimes people will make certain posts and the post will garner the attention, I guess, that they're looking for, maybe. I don't know. And then when they get it, it becomes too much. And I think that I was just like, wow. It was wild, because you never know what you're going to see on there. But it's like so much negativity on there. And people feel like they have to post their whole lives on Facebook. Like, I have friends that I follow and family and people I know who post everything. When I say everything, I mean everything about their life. Some things I shouldn't even be knowing. They post about it because they feel like they want the world to know. And I'm just like, why do you have to post every aspect of your life on social media? What are you gaining by doing that? I think some things just need to be private. The world doesn't need to know your every move. Because like I told my mom, I said, Mom, 9 times out of 10, some of these people on social media, they just want to be nosy. They're going to send whatever you post to their friends and family, and they're going to laugh and talk about you. Or 3, some genuinely do care, but 9 times out of 10, some people do genuinely care. I will say that. But then you have the other side of people that just don't care. They're just going to talk about you, make fun of your post, be nosy. They don't really care. And so, that's social media for you. It's so much negativity. And I equated this to dating apps, because I told a friend earlier, I said, it's kind of like a dating app. Everybody's on social media looking for something. You're either looking, like on the dating app, you're looking for love. Some people are just looking for hookups, unfortunately. Then you have people who are looking for entertainment, people who are looking for, a relationship or friendship. But everybody's searching for something instead of just letting God send it to them. And so that's how I look at social media. They're on there for a reason. It's entertainment at this point. People don't even touch grass anymore because social media has taken over their minds to think that they have to be on there every single day. And that's why I logged out all those apps. I have not logged back in, y'all. I said I was going to log back in 2026. We're in 2026 and I'm still not logged back on these apps. I'm just still using YouTube and Twitter. That's it. Because I feel like right now I'm not ready to go back to these apps. It's just like I have enjoyed the peace of not opening my phone and seeing what people are doing online. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the peace of not knowing what's going on in the world. Because I feel like my mind can actually slow down now. You know, certain things I'll never understand. But I feel like I'm at a place in my life where I'm looking for peace. And I feel like social media can't give me that peace. I feel like the place God is taking me, social media, I can't go with social media because God is not taking me in that direction. When you're trying to change your life and live a different way, and I'm trying to live my life for God and not do anything that God would not want me to do or not make. Of course, I'm human. I make mistakes. We all do. I'm not going to sit up here and say just because I'm following God, I don't make mistakes and I'm not human, because I am. But when you're trying to change your life and you're healing, so somebody like me that's healing, I'm in therapy, I'm healing, I'm growing. And for somebody who's trying to do better, social media is not the place that I want to consistently be, a place I consistently want to be on. Will I go back to these apps? Probably in the future, yes, eventually. But I will not be engaging in no negativity. And if I see negativity, it's getting blocked and deleted because I don't want to engage in that. God would not want me to engage in that type of stuff. You know, I'm trying to follow God right now. God is my center for me right now in my life. And I don't want anything to come between me and God. Because if anything comes between me and God, it's not going to work. God is my everything. And trying to live the life that God wants me to live, certain stuff that I see on social media, I can't be a part of it. Certain stuff in my everyday life I can't be a part of no more because I'm living my life for God, and God will not want me to be around those people or do those things those people are doing. And believe me, y'all, I was a sinner. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I was making mistakes last year and probably years before that. But I'm in a place now where I'm not doing that. I'm healing. So I don't want to be in those spaces anymore. And some people out here, you know, everybody has good in them. I believe in that. Everybody are good people. There are good people in the world, but to me, the decisions you make in life, they shape you. I made a lot of bad decisions in my life in the past, and they shaped me. 2025 was one of the roughest years of my life. God brought me down to my knees, and he picked me back up. And I told myself, when I prayed to God, I said, God, I said I would never make the same mistakes I did in 2025 and 2026. I will not live a life that you don't want me to live. I will live the life that you are pushing me to go to, Lord. I will never live a life that is not meant for me. That's what I told God. I will never live a life that is bad for me. I will never live a life that God is telling me that's not right. And so that's how I feel about everything. And so when I look at social media, while there are some positive parts, there's a lot of negativity. A lot of people on social media don't even know who don't even know themselves. They don't know who they are, but they're just doing these things for entertainment or to get likes or views or because they're getting paid for it. So they're going to do the silliest things online or say the silliest things to get that attention. And that's a sad way to live, if you ask me. And I can't knock people who make social media their career. I'm not knocking you if you're a social media influencer or that's your career. But I feel like you still can be a good influencer and still make good choices and still do the right things and still do what's right. And if the right people don't like the content you push out, then those people aren't for you. Find the people that are good for you, you know, and that will like your content, whether it's good, whether it's not what they want or not, you know, but they still will accept your content because it's good to you. I had to say, Sherelle, you got to be true to yourself. So when I was making my YouTube video, I said I had my hair could have been a little more better. I had PJs on, no makeup on, dark marks on. And I said to the camera, I said, look, this is who I am. This is who Sherelle is. And I'm not going to get on here and act fake towards you. Because I'm not going to get up here in front and be something that I'm not. I don't wear makeup every day. I don't fix up every day. I don't do certain things every day. And I'm not going to. I'm going to be myself on this podcast. I'm going to be myself in front of YouTube. I'm going to be myself in front of anybody that I encounter. Because to me, that's authentic. I would never follow somebody on a social media platform that wasn't authentic. It wasn't genuine and real. And when I saw people, especially in 2024 and 2025, who weren't authentic, I started blocking and unfollowing people because those are people I didn't want to no longer engage with their content. And to me, you have to be your authentic self if you're going to put yourself out there to be any kind of influencer or creator or whatever. You got to be yourself in your everyday life as well. Can't just be, I'm a certain way for social media, but then outside social media, I'm not the person I portray to be. Nobody wants to be around someone like that, because that's not real. It's not genuine. It's not relatable. And so to me, I enjoy content from people that just remind me of those everyday around the way people. You can tell they're just free spirited. They don't care what nobody thinks about them. But they're the true authentic selves. You can see it in their content and how they move and how they work, how they operate, how they talk. And that's something that I'm always going to be, is true to whatever content I put out there. Is going to be true to me, because I want y'all to know the real Sherelle, not a Sherelle that's not authentic or that's not genuine or that's not real. And to me, that's important anytime you're on social media. Just be yourself. Don't do things for likes or views. Don't be something you're not. Like, even on YouTube, I think when I used to start on there, I was making all these videos that other content creators were making. I can't talk, y'all. And so I caught myself saying, Sherelle, stop making stuff just because they're doing it. Just because it's getting them views. I'm like, so what? Do what feels good to you. Make your content the way that you want it to be. And so now when I make videos on YouTube or even make content on this podcast, I do videos or episodes that I like to do. Things that I want to talk about. I'm not talking about something just because somebody else want to talk about. I'm talking about it because I want to talk about it. Anything I ever talk about on here or even on YouTube, I would never misspeak about something I know nothing about. Everything I talk about would be stuff that I know I'm talking about. Stuff that I've been through. Stuff that people I know have been through. Never going to misspeak. Or if I don't know something, I'm going to research it before I speak on it. But that's just who I am. And so I say all this to say, if you're going to be on social media, be authentic and be you. Be true to who you are. Never change that to fit in. But social media, while, like I said, it can be beautiful and it can also be very negative, but you have to stay true to you. And so to me, taking that break meant that Sherelle was taking a step back and focusing on herself, that Sherelle was choosing her, that Sherelle was not going to allow outside things to affect her any longer. And so that's the reason I took a break from social media, because it was literally draining the life out of me. And not being on it, I haven't missed it. I don't miss seeing people's content. I don't miss seeing the negativity. I don't miss any of it, because I feel like there's a world outside of social media. We need to get back to touching grass, to going to the park. We need to get back to going out with our friends and family and putting the phone down. Even the teenagers now are so glued to their phones. My daughter, she's 8 and she's glued to her phone. I'm like, put the phone down. And now she has a tablet that my dad got her for Christmas, and she's glued to the tablet. I'm just like, get off the phone. I'm like, put the tablet down. I'm like, go outside, touch some grass. Because I'm like, I tell my daughter all the time, I said, when I was your age, I was outside every day, scraping my knee, riding my bike. I was playing with my friends. Cell phones wasn't even a thing back then. We didn't care about no phone. We were glued to the outside. So I say all this to say, let yourself breathe. Get off social media, breathe some air, take breaks, and love on yourself. And most importantly, just be your authentic self. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. Again, this is Sherelle from Healing Conversations, and I will see you later.